Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. As I do every year, when it's close to the end of the year, beginning of the new year, I always like to do a retrospective of the year that is coming to an end, and also trying to look to the future, to look to 2016 and try to understand. Of course, I'm recording this in English, but I record also in Brazilian Portuguese. And of course, the scenario in Brazil is slightly different from other parts of the world. So I'm recording this podcast in a more generic because maybe 2015 was a great year for some countries, but not a so great year for others. The first thing I want to tell you is that the volatility came to stay. So the concept of having projects canceled, having things changing, having abrupt slowdown in some economies became part of the game. So all this instability is part of the game. All the corporations and everybody must, like or not, play. And all this volatility becomes a key driver for a mechanism of panic and aversion to risk. So what I could see this year, it's a lot of the kind of group effect where everybody starts to take in a position sharply, and then at the same time everybody moves to another position. This is the perfect example of panic. So it's something like, you believe that something will happen, then you just cut the project and you start taking decisions based on just perception or based on the news you have on the TV. It's very, very important that you understand that all this volatility and instability increases dramatically our sensibility to perceive what is the real risk in our projects. And what do I see for the future? If I can share with you my perception is that this volatility, this instability will continue to be in place normally, forcing people to sometimes, burn trees to make food and then in the future not have any tree anymore in that place. So this kind of very short-term mentality. It's very, very important that in this unstable environment, we need to have peace of mind to understand where are the real risks and where are the real opportunities. Many times we don't see that. It's like a stock market. You see this volatility happening dramatically and people do not care about the substance of that change. In the project environment, this could hurt dramatically your organization. So when I talk about short and long term, when you see a crisis in your project, you need to stop and start thinking. Why I'm so concerned? It's because my company is facing deep challenges in a very short term. Means my company will run out of cash. My company is losing dramatically the opportunities in the marketing and facing an imminent bankruptcy. That speed becomes critical. And then you try to save what you can. I wrote an article a couple of years ago to talk about that. But in the other cases, we need to understand that maybe the crisis, maybe the volatility and the challenge is not immediate for tomorrow. But it will take a while to happen. Maybe your product will face some challenges to continue in the market and maybe you need to revisit. And why I'm saying these two environments? Because the two of them require quite different courses of action. And if you say, okay, I am in the last year of engineering, but I know that engineering is not a good profession. Let's think this as a very simple example. And then you just stop studying. And then you lose 4 years and a half of study. So you need to understand a little bit better the scenario, because maybe it's a little bit better that you wait a little bit, get the degree, and then you can work in something else. But at least the degree, you don't lose everything. So it's very, very important to understand that. And to have this peace of mind. Peace of mind does not mean be slow. It's two very different things. I'm not saying that being slow is to have peace of mind. Peace of mind is to have the right sense, the right understanding in where you should cut the scope of your project and how you should take the best course of action. If you do not do that, you will put everything on risk. Think about that for this year, because this volatility, this instability, the news about other countries reducing their growth, increasing their growth, opportunities happening, war, peace, this is part of what we do. And we will be always subject to that. What will make difference is our peace of mind to take the right course of action. And I'm saying this for those who are employed as a project managers, handling projects and facing the challenge. And also for those who are unemployed today and looking for an opportunity. If I can give you an advice to you, is that take the peace of mind, not slow, but peace of mind, to look for what is the best course of action for you. Do not take resolutions just because you want to stop the fire, because maybe you stop the fire by throwing water in all of your IT system because one hard disk burned it, and then you destroy all of your data center with water. So think about that. Think about that. Have the peace of mind to think and to reflect on what is the best course of action before you start like crazy changing your career path, and then regretting about that 10 years ahead. Think about that. I wish you a fantastic 2016, a very peaceful year for all of you with great projects, because in crisis or in development is where project management and project managers can make a real difference. Happy New Year to all of you, with a lot of 5 Minutes PM podcasts in the future.